In the end, it took less than 30 years for the world as we know it to fall. 95% of the population died. There were a litany of causes, not that it mattered in the end. Our infrastructure failed, and with no electricity, our communications, lights, and internet failed too. There weren't even enough survivors left to tend the fields and care for the remaining livestock. As if any of us had any of the necessary skills. Those few of us who remained barricaded ourselves into makeshift fortresses, although they had no idea what we thought we were hiding from. To paraphrase that ass T.S. Eliot, not with a bang, but with a whimper, the world ended. Almost. In the late 2050s, the builders ended the crisis by combining biology, precision mechanics, and thermohydraulics to make constructs from the dead, human and otherwise. These automatons took up all the necessary repetitive tasks that keep us alive. The constructs follow algorithms and programmable, mindless cycles. The dead of all species have taken the place of slaves, and like those slaves, they have become the basis on which our recovery and our economy grow. They are everywhere. As humans, we have lost almost everything. But we do have what humanity has always had. We have hope.
Oh, hello, hello, hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these amazing people have agreed to come and play a game with me tonight. These amazing people are, but are not included. I get that wrong every fucking time. Are, but are not limited to. Wayward Knight.
Me. I am Wayward Knight, aka Chris. I am an artist. I sell my stuff on the internet at my links. You can find them there. Needs an update, but anyway. I also am on the Discord all the time. Our Discord, you should check out our Discord. It's great. Um, you can find me here Saturday nights doing this, and then you can find me here again on Monday nights DMing our Buffy the Vampire Slayer game, Grave New World. And
Yeah.
that's all of my things.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for Monday to see how that goes because it's buffier than Buffy.
Yeah.
It's the good stuff. All right, next, Bison underscore Stonefist.
That's me. I do stuff here, mostly here actually. On Tuesday nights, I am the GM for our Cyberpunk Red campaigns, Carnage Heights. On Saturdays, I am here, and most other days, I am in chat. If we don't have a game, you can find me sometimes on my Twitch, where I play games. Lately, it's been EDF because EDF is fun, and I get to blow up bugs, and I hate bugs. So yeah.
Cool. No real bugs were injured in the filming of this video. Which brings us around
Lots
to
of
Phil.
fake ones, though.
Lots of fake ones, lots of virtual bugs. But Phil.
Yeah, the bugs I like, well, or don't like in this sense is coding bugs. Anyways, yeah, I'm Phil. I
You stuck the
do
landing
stuff.
enough.
Yeah, as you guys can tell, I do improv.
Yeah.
I'm really good at it. But yeah, Phil.
Okay, and you do lots of stuff, just none of it on stream
I
except
do
for
stuff.
this. Yeah, cool. All right, which brings it around to me again. I am Kevin. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. We do stuff some nights of the week. It's the middle of summer as of the recording of this, so like a lot of things aren't happening because people are away and doing stuff and busy and hiding from the evil sun thing in the sky. But this will just stay tuned. Many shows. But let's get to this one. Art by Hero Forge, background art from Pixabay, chopped into chunks by our very own Thunderscape 7. What else? Oh, Roll20 as our virtual tabletop of choice. And let's Go.
Hero Forge?
I did that, didn't I? Didn't I say
I don't
mini
remember.
character art by Hero Forge? If
You
I didn't,
probably
then
did.
I did now. So thank you. There, we got it covered for sure. Now we'll get twice
And yes,
nothing.
we are missing an Artemis Demacy.
Yes, we
today.
are Artemis free zone this evening.
Artemis Demissa.
We're gonna do a sort of one of those walk along NPC things you'll see. But let's get back to where we were, which remind me.
Uh,
Yeah.
Not Coas. Delilah and Sid were at the camp of the weird tea monsters.
Yep.
In in the middle of the night, and Delilah was learning how they make their tea. Not very successfully, but
Right. So you're at their camp, and then Coas, you were where?
Conked out.
Right.
Yeah, after the hallucination and kind of returning back to camp, he's had a very long day.
Yep.
And so you find him on a log, passed out.
Okay. Perfect.
on a log, sleeping
In that
like a
case,
log.
there's only two of you. In that case, we're just going to have Artemis at this point just crash for the evening as well.
I think she was.
Yeah, I think they were anyway. So, Delilah and Sid, you've had a chance to talk to these people for a while now. They are.
Oh, and they
interested.
did give us the boat and the map.
They promised you a boat and a map. Yeah. I didn't get the map for you, but we'll get it for you. It'll help. But for now, that's what they have promised you. It is the middle of the night now, so they have promised you that and suggested that you probably not go on the river until dawn. There's also the fireworks slash boulders rolling down the hill attack going on across the road as they chase away the mercenaries.
Slash murder them horribly.
Yeah. Delilah's just like looking back and forth between Sayed and the tea and this person, and then the tea and then Sayed and this person. like she can't believe what she is comprehending.
Sid, how do you respond to that?
Mm-hmm.
You can just see, just like this. You know, you've seen it before. They're in the loop, right? They're in the cycle.
Sid, I think he feels he's sufficiently spooked these people to not try to harm them directly. He's very disappointed in that dad sort of way.
Yeah.
Like, he honestly expected, 95% of the world just friggin' died. We had a chance to start over and you guys are back on this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I could not resist. I could not leave the hippies just all sweetness and light. I couldn't do it. Sociopathic hippies.
Betrays your view of hippies.
With a sense of entitlement. That was to me the funniest part, is the sense of entitlement for people that are claiming to be of the land. Like, oh, that's not how that works. But never mind.
Probably not cannibals. I'm not ruling it out.
But
check the tea.
How do you respond to, like, it's the middle of the night. You guys sleep in here. You look around. This is the forest primeval, essentially, right? I mean, there's no power, there's no lights. There's a campfire here. You've walked the trail 2 or 3 times back and forth now to your campsite, so you know how to get there. But it is quite a ways up there, and it is up the hill, because the campsite was down by the river, and you guys are up on the bank.
Yeah. Sid holds a hand out for Delilah to help her out. At least some of us should get some sleep tonight.
Yeah, the guy who broke his ribs. Especially.
I hardly feel it anymore.
Which means you do feel some of it.
Boyd's answering.
press A to avoid answering this question. Uh, so, here or up at the, or you're walking up to the camp.
He turns to the people
Mhm.
and makes this. You can see her make an active decision in her head, and then she turns to T person number 1 and just holds out her hand and says, "The map."
Yes. And they kind of snap their fingers, and one of them runs off to the little sort of hide tent and comes back and hands you the Michelin maps, like the expensive ones. You know, if you're on holidays and you've lost your map, there's the $2 map, and then there's the $10 Michelin map. That's the map that they give you. But it is a paper foldy outy. Can I ever fold that? Every time you're going to try and close it, you're going to have to make a roll or a play. I just decided that. But no, it's
Like a Marauders map.
yeah. But yeah, this is the level of detail is. I mean, it's topographic. All the highways, all the rivers, everything is on it.
Okay, so she's gonna
All the
take it
little
kind of like.
villages. Yeah.
She's gonna take it like, "Thank you," and but like non-verbally,
Mhm.
and takes Sid's hand, his good hand, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Yeah, the other one's kind of still,
Oh yeah,
holding it.
slung up.
You doing the
And
shoulder blade thing.
Yeah.
And stands up, and then she goes to walk back down to our camp with him, but then turns and says, "We'll be back in the morning for the boat. If you're not here,
Oh,
we'll find you."
We'll be here. So will the boat. Remember, we want you to leave. And there's that little smile. It'd be charming if they hadn't said what they just said. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. All right. Have a good night. And she walks back down the trail, I'm assuming with Sid.
Yeah. And you keep saying down, but it is up.
Or up.
And I only say that because I now want to play on that in a narrative sense. Because you start to walk, and you walk away from that firelight, and it starts to get steep, and your calves start to pull because they start to tighten up while you're sitting there drinking all that lovely tea. And you can start to feel that burn, the lactic acid that was just starting to get settled in. Every step feels like you're ripping the muscles. That hill in front of you, it just keeps looking steeper and steeper and steeper. And just because you're about to go to sleep, so I don't feel bad about doing this, I need a resistance test from you. So diamonds. Your pure physical ability to resist the exhaustion. This is like you just summited Everest moment, and you got to really focus hard not to die on the way back down.
Okay. I have an 8
Steeper,
and
steeper, uphill
a
both ways.
diamond. So that's
Okay,
2
that's 2
successes.
successes.
I have 2 4s.
Wait, hold on.
Two fours.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't have any trauma in that one. Good.
Okay, you're good, or at least only one, because one doesn't affect, right? Oh
Right,
yes.
but I
By the way,
don't
that's
have
what
any.
that's what I forgot to mention at the start. We are technically using the Necrobiotic game system. Technically, parts of it. Anyway,
Occasionally.
let's go.
That we find useful.
Some of the mechanics. I paid for the book. I don't feel bad at all. But 2 successes each. Yeah, you. It's
Just
like
one from me.
Oh, just one for you. Okay, perfect. That because your shoulders gibbled. So this is like the 2 drunk people going home. It's like it looks bad for a minute, but then you get the counter lean, and you both sort of go bang, aha, and then you just up the trail.
Fun.
And it is I'm gonna point this out now. It is actually a cart trail. Like it's got 2 ruts, so you're kind of one on each. It's narrow ruts, but you got one on each, and you kind of leaning against each other and heading up the hill. As you get back up to your campsite, you look around and everybody's asleep but Verite. And he's perched right up on the very, very back of the Orchid Mobile, very clearly on guard. Like he's sitting up there. However, he completely fails to see you coming out of the darkness. You've completely got the drop on him.
I'm just gonna keep walking into the firelight.
Yeah. Sid? I see a grin.
Sid is actually, yeah, he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna be as quiet as he can.
Yep.
And try to sit down and see how long it takes for Verite to notice them.
Okay. Yeah, let's see if we can run you buggers out of cards
been
before you
he's
even
been
go to sleep.
A little bit of a shit, so have
Give
some fun.
me. Yeah, give me a dexterity. So clubs. Sneak in here. Unless you've got a skill that can otherwise help you to sneak.
Just Sid, or
both of you, because you both wanted to try and do the same thing, right?
I mean, I wasn't gonna try to not make noise. I was just gonna try to like act like he wasn't. I don't know.
Oh,
sure,
you're
whatever.
just gonna
I have a
walk in?
club.
Okay, you're
No,
trying to
no, I
style.
have
You're
a-
just okay. Well,
I
I'll
have
give
a
you a
club.
choice
It's
because
fine.
if you're just trying to style it out, then give me charisma. That's hearts. And hello,
okay.
hello, Clerky TV. I very much hope you're real.
I got 2 successes, a 3 and a 5 of clubs.
Ah, right.
So
I have. I'm just gonna go with the club.
Just one
It's-
success. Okay.
The strong guy.
Yeah. The Monty Python strongman. Yes. Okay. So yeah. That's enough. He's got, like I said, he basically wasn't. He's looking, but he's not. Oh, hey, yay! They're a real person. I knew I got this for a reason. It wasn't just for my pirate name. So yeah, Delilah, you just style it out. You just walk in, and somehow you, with the flickering light, you just kind of vroom, boom, and you're sitting down by the fire. Sid, you actually sneak, like you dun, 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 with or without the soundtrack, your choice. But you managed to get your way in. Are you going like full whole hog? Or are you gonna go like I'm laying in my bed? I've been here all night.
I was just thinking like sitting by the fire.
Okay, so the two of you just plunk plunk by the fire, and he's
Yeah.
and his eyes snap around. And he kind of stops for a second. You wave. He slides down very, very, very slowly into the back seat, and just keeps sliding, sliding, sliding until he's gone.
Good night, Verite.
Little hand comes up and goes back down. He's so embarrassed. There's a tiny red glow coming out from behind his seat. And the two of you look across at the Damasi family passed out, given the evening you had facing different directions on opposite sides of the fire. Definitely not talking. Above you, full, like, Italian borderline, you're almost on the equator, right? And it's dark. There's no lights except the fire. You've got full Milky Way action going on. Like, it's not just stars. You can now see why it's called the Milky Way, right? It's just a white band covered in a bajillion little stars of all different colors. There's a couple meteors flash by. You can hear the water. You can hear the screaming and yelling of mercenaries across the river, kind of spoiling the effect slightly as they've in small packets. You can see what's happening though. They're breaking up, and small groups of them are just going, nope, none of this, and they're buggering off into the darkness. And you can hear people yelling and screaming, trying to hold the remaining group together, but it's clearly falling apart.
Certainly glad I'm not them.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you. And with that,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was
you're
just
good.
no, I was
It's
just
fine.
gonna say, with that, take us to between now and when the two of you finally just fall over. Um, what more happens?
I think Sid's waiting for Delilah to say something.
I think Delilah wants to say something, but has no idea what she could possibly say in this moment that wouldn't like just fully freaks it out.
Yep. So in that uncomfortable silence,
She is
you-
talking about someone who sees ghosts.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
Mhm.
In that
Okay.
case,
Yes.
actually, because Delilah doesn't know that.
Yes.
She's gonna say, kind of softly, "Have you seen anyone recently? How are you? How are you doing?"
it's easier having something to do, you know.
Thanks for the sub.
Um, but nobody recently. He thinks about it. Like really thinks about it.
Because I
My
was actually
mom.
going to ask you last
was-
session when you
Yeah,
had
I
the
think-
conversation with Verite, right?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, was there anybody standing in the trees watching, basically?
I think at Delilah's asking, Sid kind of looks around. Roll the dice, see what happens. And he pauses and he's like, Francesca Cavalieri, she's having lunch on the end of the bridge.
Delilah kind of turns and looks at the end of the bridge and then says, "Can you see what she's having? Does it look good?" Like, not in a patronizing way.
Yeah.
Like, trying to, like, validate that he's seeing stuff.
She never let us see what she was having for lunch. I have a feeling it was probably homemade and likely delicious. It's the one thing
Didn't
I
want
didn't.
it.
Sorry?
She's going to say didn't want it to get stolen.
Something like that.
Well, if you ever need or want help, I'm here. And she looks at you with very, like, soft but troubled eyes, but, like, with the most care that she can give,
Yeah.
which is still a lot because it's still her, like, prime directive.
You actually have a skill to that effect, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Sid looks at her, and when Sid looks at somebody, it's always kind of intense. It's just the way his face is shaped. It's always kind of intense, and he's just like, "What about you? You left the mansion like it was a house of horrors, and I understand why." He kind of like turns so that like it's her his entire face. How are you doing?
He really, really, really wants to say bad, but she cannot. She absolutely cannot. So it takes her a long time to find the right words. She just kind of stares into the fire for a long moment, and then she says, I just, it was bad. I didn't like it. So I had to get out. That's all. And she's like avoiding eye contact.
Sid's like, that's not all.
And she's like wringing her hands at this point, and like the heel of her foot is starting to like bounce up and down.
Sid puts his hand on her knee.
Have you ever found out that your whole existence was a lie? And she knows the answer to that.
Yeah, and he's just like, the ghosts are a reminder of the people I've lost because of that lie.
They wanted me. They wanted me to be her. It's so clear now that everything is gone, and I know horrible, horrible things. And I mean, I didn't have parents. I had a caregiver who undoubtedly became a construct when she was no longer of service. I had instructors and chaperones and study hall and classes, and I didn't have friends. I didn't have playtime. But I thought that was normal. I thought, well, every kid grew up that way. And I just did what they told me. Because they told me I was great. Because they told me I was great. Because they told me I would become something amazing. They pushed me, and they knew how to manipulate me and use me for their own devices. You know how disgusting it is to be a tool? To be a tool that works on bodies that didn't need to be maimed and horrifically taken advantage of by a sick woman who just needed to justify her disgusting experiments.
How is that your fault? How is any of that your fault?
If I'm so smart, why didn't I see through it? Why didn't I see how horrible any of this stuff was?
Because
you understand? I'm well past childhood. I believed them.
So
I
we all
believed them.
Lila, nothing we do can make up for what we've done. But what we can do. He stops. He's like, that made more sense in my head. Hold on. And he looks at her, and it's just
She's looking
Sid's
down.
intelligence. Sid's intelligence is in a different place. He knows how to act, and he doesn't know how to like he plans for contingencies. He doesn't know how to make a person feel better. He looks at her and he's like, nothing can change the past, and I should really be writing this down for myself, but you can't keep beating yourself up over something you had no power over. You didn't control the way you were taught. You had no say in your upbringing. You were indoctrinated, just like the rest of us. And now we're starting to break through. And that disgust, hold on to it. Use it. Focus it. Be better. Like we all know you are.
I'm not better.
Eyebrow.
I'm not. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not better. Not
Look
right
at
now.
it this way. If she knew the truth, the dumb bitch in Florence who's dead, all of her idiot friends at the top of that ivory tower knew. And they didn't do anything about it either. And now they're dead. You saw the truth. You knew better.
What would have happened if we had never met Verite?
We'd all be dead.
Yeah.
That's just a flat out statement of truth.
Yeah.
Right. You should get some sleep.
You too.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
as the two of you at least lay down, if not to sleep, two things. Verite's little head comes up from the back seat of the car, and he looks over by the fire, and the camera kind of whips around to his point of view. And there's four of you around the fire. All of you are facing different directions. You're all facing out. And he just goes and goes back down. Coes.
Verite disapproves.
Coes. You know hex-based board games?
Yeah.
Like the map's all made out of hexes for anybody that doesn't know, and there's terrain on it, and you move little cardboard things around.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing one of those, and you look up, and it's Thomas across the table from you. Beautiful house, his house actually, in his room, but all the tacky shit's gone. The stuff that's in this room now is what you would have done with this room. But you're sitting at the table playing this classic ivory and ebony inlaid board game with these amazing three-dimensional hand-carved pieces, rare woods. And as you look down again, he's got you outnumbered like 4-1 in units. He's got you more or less cornered. You look up again and he's smiling at you across the table like you guys are at a summer picnic.
Am I of the state of? Am I confused at this, or is this kind of like,
presume so, yeah.
or would I be kind of in the moment, 'cause, you know, during dreams, sometimes you
Yeah.
kind of not understand that it's dream, but more you're kind of just going along with
Play the
whatever
role.
thought.
Well, at this point, we'll start to oh, thank you for joining us. Let everybody
Yeah.
know, and we'll see you next week. But Coes, this is still that early part in the dream where it still all makes sense. Like there's no reason to challenge it yet, other than you weren't here a minute ago. But yeah, so let's go with that. I like that question,
Sure.
so you know where to start.
So he's gonna look down at the board and look up at Thomas and going along with it for a second here, as if like it's perfectly normal that they're in this situation. He's gonna kind of move a piece and he's gonna say, uh, you know, Thomas, sometimes it may look like you're winning. And that's when you get like the full sense of security and kind of bravado, pride, if you will. But usually that's when the opponent has their backs to the wall. And that's when they can lash out the hardest. And he does a move. I don't know what game we're playing, but he
Yep.
does a move and it seems like the best move in the world
Mm-hmm.
at the time. And it kind of just topples Thomas's plan for a second.
Okay. And there's as you do it, you look up to see Thomas, but you're not looking at Thomas. You're looking at you, and you look down, and you are Thomas. And your best laid plans have just been foiled by a single move from someone you massively underestimated up until this point.
Huh. Guess I didn't see that coming. Huh. Maybe I was too kid on you, Thomas.
And again, you look up and
Yeah, as we kind of rotate, and like and now I see Thomas again in front of
Yep.
me.
his
You're
pieces are starting to melt into the board. Like the reality's starting to come apart, right? The walls are melting around you.
you're a brilliant kid. And I just I hope I'm there to see you when you grow up.
And there's a double flicker because it's Thomas, then it's Artemis, then it's Thomas again. Then it's Apollo, then it's Thomas again.
I hope I'm there to see all of you grow up. Like really.
And
I
it
want to be
starts
around.
it starts to melt. Like full end of Raiders of the Lost Ark starting to melt. Whatever
You're
it
all,
was.
and he's gonna continue as if it doesn't bother him
Yep.
in the slightest. You all mean so much to me.
You just hear it
And
back. So much to me, so much to me, so much to me, so much to me.
I hope you guys feel the same way about me.
Before there's any answer, you need to pee. That's what wakes you up, jars you out of this, and wakes you up.
He's gonna kind of sit up a bit. Oh, his back.
Yep.
Oh, that's because it's on like the rounded log, so it's
Yep.
like uh, cracks something. Is anyone stirring?
Yes.
What time of the night is it?
I was just about to say, everybody is asleep by this point. This is that sort of just pre-dawn moment, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah, okay.
you two are as out as you're gonna get. If you're not asleep, you're at least sort of staring wistfully into the distance.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you guys will
Yeah,
wake up in a minute.
Ghost will kind of wake and Look up to the sky, see that the very peaks of orange are
Yep.
starting to pierce through.
The false dawn, not even the real dawn yet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at the companions he's got. Oh, okay, everyone's still up and alive at least. What do we do about those guys? Kind of looks towards the tea drinkers.
Yeah. You see little trails of smoke coming from the two camps, the one up and one down from you, that there were before. Across the way, you can see there's only about half a dozen campfires and 3 tents left. Everybody else is buggered off.
Maybe Sid's right. It's not our fight. I don't like that answer. And as he's kind of continuing to
Yeah.
talk to himself. But just because I don't like it doesn't mean it isn't the best one. There's a lot of things that I don't like, but are good for me. Sleep. That's one. Putting time off work. Well, I mean, admitting when I'm wrong. Nah, that one I'll shelf that one for now.
You hear from in the back of the car, taking yourself too seriously.
I don't think I'm taking myself too seriously, Verite. I'm talking to myself here, and I'm making
Oh.
jokes about talking about myself.
I don't mean now.
Oh, before.
Always?
Always. I'm not too sure I get. I understand what you mean, Verde. We're in a very serious situation a lot of the time.
Yep. And stress is bad and it's hard on everybody. But unless you can see like this is foreign territory for his brain, right? He puts stuff together. He did this is what he does, right? This mystical stuff is confusing to him. But he says you you take all the responsibility, even when you don't have to.
Well, I mean, I don't take all the responsibility. I mean, we all do our fair share of kind of like taking the world upon ourselves, putting
Yep.
everything on our shoulders. That's I've noticed with this group.
Yep. And if I had heard them talking to themselves in the dark, I would have said the same thing.
Right. Right. You're right. I can't just be comparing myself to
It's
the
not
others.
that. You need to have fun. And that means making it. And you can see like he's got no idea how to do that. His eyes are just darting like
Oh, there's 2 points that I can remember where I have fun. Solving cases was fun for me. Putting the pieces together. Finishing up the story. Coming with a good conclusion. And, I do have an ongoing case right now, technically.
and what's that?
I kind of looks back towards Delilah. I'm not too sure if I can say. It's a bit personal.
Oh, you want
Let's
to know who she is? Okay.
no. Oh yeah, practically. Oh okay. So
It's
of
why
course
we're
you
going
know.
to Venice.
Yeah, that's why we're going to Venice. Of course you know. Why wouldn't you know? You're Verite. Everyone tells you everything.
Coes,
Mhm.
how are we going to make the boat go up the river?
Paddle. Really hard.
and he kind of looks over the side and down at this river. This is
How?
a
Yeah,
big,
how?
strong river.
Oh, it's a strong current.
Yep. And you hear from behind the tree, "Oh, oh, 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 never
And
again. Oh, no, 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 no."
and there, Verte, it's my second source of fun. Watching him go down that hill and almost dying as he's trying to put up the pieces. Kind of funny, not gonna lie.
I really did that. I thought it was a dream.
Nope, you did it all, Stefano. That
Oh.
was actually hilarious. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
And he says, "What's this about having to make a boat go up a stream, up the river?"
Basically, tea drinkers over there want us to go upriver with a boat.
But the boat, they want. Okay, tea drinkers. Oh wow! I just had a verite moment. And verite is like, "You, but you're not me." He says, "No, no. I'll explain later. Um, I know how to do it. Verite. You know what a putt-putt boat is?" He's like, "I
Isn't that
don't.
like a type of golf? You know, like you like putt
No,
putt, you know?
no." He said boat.
Yeah, no, but like isn't putt putt a type of golf?
It's also a kind of boat.
Oh, cool.
And
What's it do? Putt putt?
yes, exactly.
Right. I don't know
He
why I
looks at
ask.
Stefano and he says, "We're gonna need a lot of them." And Stefano's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A lot
14.
of a 14 what? What are we gonna need here? Guys. I'm very slow.
Small fires, metal bowls, and a tube."
Uh tubes. I think I know where we can get tubes from, Stefano. We can go back to the if we have time, we can go back to the cave that had all the stolen mechs.
Uh,
There was a little bunch of wiring and tubes back there.
and Verite says, that they don't take much pressure and or much heat, so we can use anything." And he starts looking around, trying to look for stuff. But anyway, we're not gonna have a side quest looking for tubes. That's my point.
Sure.
But yeah. But they
Uh,
seem, you may not understand what their plan is, and they're
He'll
engineers, so they're not telling you. But yeah, they're
he'll
convinced.
stop Verite for a sec as they're like going through their stuff, and
Yeah.
or at least not stop, but kind of just try to back up the conversation. He's like, "So, what about you, Verite? What do you do for fun? How do you have fun?"
And he looks at you and says, "That's why I asked, because I didn't used to, but then I made that." And he points at the Orchid Mobile. That was fun. That was so many puzzles all at once.
That's kind of cute. Um,
I like
yeah.
puzzles too, but people are hard.
Ah, that's where you're wrong. People are a lot easier to me than machines.
No, the machine always does what it's supposed to do the same way every time. I never met a person like that in my whole life.
People, while they appear complex, you can really boil them down to their base aspects. There's always something that someone needs. There's always something that someone wants. There's always something that someone enjoys. You just have to find. You have to get to know them, and it just comes naturally.
Stefano.
You'll learn everything about them. You'll learn what people like, what dislike. That way, let's say if you ever want to give them a gift, for example, you, since you already know them, you know what they like and dislike, and you can easily solve the code of what gift to get. Think of it that way.
Okay, like smaller puzzles. Oh, like
Yeah.
puzzles that change.
Yeah. Dynamic puzzles, if you will.
Dynamic puzzles. Putt boats. The tube's gonna have to be 47 centimeters long.
47 centimeters. That's almost 50 centimeters.
Verite, first of all, looks at you, starts to open his mouth, and then gets it. Oh, okay. I'll stop now. And this is where, yeah, you guys, everybody's had a night's sleep now, so go ahead and everybody drop to a full hand of cards. Throw away all the ones you don't want and drop to a full hand. And that is where we're going to say that the other two, Delilah and Sid, this is where you sort of wake up to hear this, the end of this conversation. Artemis, in the face of all of this, has just kind of sat up and is staring into the fire. Didn't say a word, isn't having tea, nothing. Just sitting there staring into the fire.
Hey, AC and D are up. If only Sid was named like Brett or something like that. Then we would be A, B, C, D. And he says this out loud
Yeah.
to you, Sid.
You hear Sid mutter as he walks by, Grimlock.
Oh, but then you're using like your
Yeah,
last name.
ACDC.
Yeah.
You're using your last name when we're talking about first names here, so fortunate.
Not
So
nearly
you guys sleep well? You guys encounter the wizards?
about
Wizards?
that course. They're not magic.
The pricks.
Yeah, but also they're not magic.
Then do they have any like advanced technology that we didn't know about?
No,
Very good with tea. I don't know if
I
that's
still don't
magic or it's
understand. I don't-
herbology or whatever.
Maybe they spiked my coffee. Because I could have, I was 100% certain that I saw some extremely strange magical shit coming off them.
Carlos, are you okay?
That wasn't
I mean,
creamer, that was ground up mushrooms.
I mean, no, I'm fine now. I was
Does
just
that-
dirt.
Happen a lot?
like, as in seeing magic. No, this was the first time.
No, just seeing things that aren't there. Does that happen a lot?
Not at all.
Okay.
No, I'm
Also, the
pretty-
bags under Delilah's eyes are insane.
If it's the one thing I can count on, it's my perception of the world. It's usually always sharp.
Okay. Why don't I think Artemis is just about done with this adventure. So why don't we get ready? I'll
Right.
go get the
course.
boat.
You guys are going to have to go down to the boat, so...
Yeah, oh, that's
so,
right.
Yeah. So as you mentioned their name, Artemis just stands up, doesn't grab any of their stuff, just stands up and starts to walk towards the trail.
I'm gonna like grab her and be like, no, not yet.
They just stop and stand there.
Just relax. Follow us. It's okay. You don't have to think today.
Nothing. Just glazed.
Yeah. Delilah doesn't have much of her own, so she will also grab Artemis's stuff. Because she's the least injured. And she will wait for everyone else to be ready.
Question I've been waiting a week to ask.
Yeah.
Like that.
Are you taking the car?
I
Down.
thought we were
to
going
the
to
boat,
cannibalize
or-
it for parts to make the boat better. Honestly, Sid was going to get in the car and like you said, it used to be like a car lane, so there's ruts.
Yeah.
So
As
it's wide enough.
Yep.
Take the
you
car
can get
down to the
car
boat?
down yeah, are you going to take the car down and hopefully put it on the boat and take it with you?
Oh.
Mhm.
How big is the boat?
You don't know? You haven't seen it yet.
Then let's not take the car down first, and let's go down.
Let's go scope the boat first.
Okay. Easy. So you guys walk down the hill. Artemis again is just following, right? It's like the third horse, the third pack horse in the line, like they're just gone. And I know normally that will take a slight moment out of game here. Obviously, if this happened, her brother Coas would be terribly upset, but Artemis isn't, the player isn't here this week, so we're gonna just wing this.
Yeah.
So that's,
That's
where
why
yeah.
I'm not gonna really
It
really
just didn't
push on
feel. I
that.
had to
Yeah.
say it because it just doesn't feel natural the way we're playing it. So, but yes, that's
Yeah.
why we're doing it this way. Anyway,
She's gonna be dubbed afterwards.
Yeah, well, yeah.
In post.
we'll edit her in afterwards.
I
But you guys make your way down there. You get there and you see none of the people are here. None of the tea drinkers are here. There's the smoke. The fire's gone out because it's morning. They're probably inside their tents and whatnot. But there's nobody visible. But there is pulled up onto the beach what is essentially not much more than a big raft.
Is it large enough for the car?
Yes. And yeah, you can see Stefano's looking around. You can see him doing the math in his head. It's like, yeah, we're gonna have to center it, but yeah, weight's not a problem. This stuff's really porous, and he's poking at the wood that it's made out of, and he's checking knots. And this is where Veritas just sort of standing there looking at it, because as brilliant as he is, he's not that hands-on engineer guy, right? That's Stefano.
Yeah.
Doesn't work with wood.
Yeah, Stefano's making marks like, here's where we got to put the tires, and
Sid's like, well, yeah, I guess yeah. Sid would be like right next to him, figuring
also
out.
Sid, you know what a putt-putt boat is. So yeah, Bison, do you know
Bison thinks he knows.
the little tiny toy boat? And it's a good time to explain it. And it's got a little metal ball in it, and you put a tea light under that ball, a couple of drops of water in it, and a tube that goes out into the water behind the boat. And when the candle turns the water into steam, it forces its way out of the back of the tube, and it goes and blows you along a little bit. But then there's negative pressure inside the tube, so it sucks a tiny bit of water back in, and so it keeps going, and it literally goes and it will go until the candle runs out, basically.
It's Veritas proof of concept.
Yes. So the two of them start building. Yes, there's one. Pop boats. I've heard them called that too. Yeah, pop, whatever you call them. But yes, he starts building a row of those across the back, and the cars moving onto the center. So all of that stuff is being taken care of. We'll fast forward. You weren't going back and getting the car and whatnot. But they still haven't come out of their tents. There's still no one here.
Fucking good. I don't want to deal with them.
The others?
Delilah.
I was just gonna say that's your response, or that was wayward. I got you.
Oh.
I was gonna say, once Sid and Stefano have gotten the car figured out.
Yep.
Sid turns on his forge hammer to reheat the tea.
Yep. Okay.
Because he's still got the thermos full.
Yep.
And he hands Delilah the first cup.
Okay.
You sure?
It's excellent tea.
Not say I wouldn't be happy with a cover. She tastes it and she's like, oh god, that's really good.
Right? They weren't sociopaths.
No, I know. Well, they weren't tea sociopaths.
No one who makes
And
tea
she'll
this
just-
good can be all bad.
She'll
I can fix
just
them. Sorry.
Tranquility
So,
is people. No.
she'll sit down on like a nearby like rock or something and just sip it for a while, kind of thinking and kind of glancing between Sid and Coas and what's going on. And then she doesn't forget to say thank you, by the way.
So, anything else you'd like to do before we set sail?
Just before Sid leaves, the now empty container and the cups are placed in front of one of the large tents on a stone.
Okay. You get that feeling. You don't even have to look. You just get that feeling that there's nobody in that tent either. Like they're gone.
Sid
That's still-
pauses
yeah.
and it's like, killed the cat. And he peeks his head in.
I'd also like to come and just
Yeah.
check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was literally about to be. Delilah was literally about to be like, "Do you think they left anything?"
So the three of you look inside, and you can see like a flat spot on the ground where the bedrolls were, and a couple other places where pots and whatnot were. The biggest of the tents, probably where the person you were talking to lived. That's all you find. But in one of the smaller ones, over in a corner, kind of under the edge, maybe it's hidden, maybe it's left on purpose, maybe they just dropped it and kicked it under there. It's hard to tell. But there's just a little pouch of tea ingredients.
Delilah will walk up and investigate the pouch and like smell it and be like, "All right. Anyone mind if I keep this?"
Delilah, when you sniff it, you recognize the tea they made for you. You recognize the tea that Sid just gave you. And you smell coffee. Plus
Oh,
whatever.
bloody hell. Yeah. No, we're keeping this.
Yeah.
This
so
is a gift.
This is once you've sniffed it. This is not. Yeah, exactly. This was left for you.
No, this is. I can make that tea again for you. I almost called you Bison. Say it.
Who's buys it? Sounds like a
I don't
stand-up
know.
guy.
Sounds like a jerk. Okay.
Probably is. Right then.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. They left us some ingredients for more tea, so she'll pocket that.
And again, Sid's like, if they weren't sociopaths.
I know, right?
One of them actually wished you well. But with that, are we? That's all that you find here. As you come back out, Stefano's lighting this little row of fire on the raft underneath all the little motors and pouring in these tiny amounts of liquid into each one before screwing them down.
Delilah's gonna get Artemis situated into a place where, like, the raft is balanced,
Just put her in the car.
so that. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
be like, would putting her in the car like be weird, but no. Artemis, she'll put Artemis in the car, probably lay her down in the back.
Yep.
In the
And-
opposite side of the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in the back.
Well,
not the front, yeah. So
in the
you
in the
can't
back.
drag them back out,
Yeah. And stow their things in the car as well in the back seat.
Oh, how about I drive? Let another Damasi take the wheel.
It's actually a rudder in this case on the side of the raft. The boat.
Yeah, so
the
he's
car's
sitting-
just
he's
sitting
sitting-
there, right? Yeah. You're in the car.
Suppose-
Yeah. Oh, you turn it. All that happens is the front wheels of the car go.
It's like those shopping carts that have the car
Yeah.
the car
Or
fronts
Stewie at
on
the
them
start
for
of
the
Family
kids.
Guy.
For the kids.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm driving.
Maybe we should let the engineer drive just because he
I
knows
was,
what's
I was,
going
just,
on.
I was just joking. It's
Oh, sorry.
not so good.
Wait, was that a self-deprecating joke?
No, actually, this one was at the. No, it was just because of the
Right.
This one was
situation.
at the expense of my sister. Artemis from the car.
No, 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 no. Stop it. We don't do that to each other. I don't care if you're siblings or whatever. I will not have it anymore.
And as you
We
yeah.
sorry, what?
No, it's just because as you say that, Stefano slides the little firebox underneath all the little rows, and you start to pull away from the shore with it just kind of goes because there's a bunch of them. There's like 20 of them across the back of the boat, and they're not quite synced.
Oh man, the
But
misophonia of that.
yeah, well, and I'm just gonna add to that because Verite, you can see he's just like it's not working right. He fashions himself like a little spoon out of a piece of wood and starts like tapping the exhaust, trying to get the timing right, so that they all at least go at the same time. But I mean, it's imperfect engineering, right? Because Stefano built it, not Verite, so it's not.
Mhm.
So
It's
yeah.
like a little kid rendition of the opening to Hot for Teacher.
So yes, you start to slowly, and I mean like net gain is probably walking speed as you head up the river that slowly. With Verite
Hey,
hanging
we're
off the
getting
back, trying to get
somewhere,
everything
so.
timed.
Why?
This amazing orchid, silver and gold orchid mobile sitting on this raft powered by just 1,000 putts a second.
Why couldn't we just go downriver? Why did they want us to go upriver?
That's the
Upriver is
premises.
where we're going.
If you go downriver, you'll be back in Florence.
Ah, okay. I thought the river was like.
No, if you look at the map, it starts just north of you guys, runs down where you guys are, down through Florence, and I know it's the ocean.
Oh yeah, there's the map. I had this open, but
Yeah.
I never actually like
It's all good. It's
took a
been so
look.
long since we looked at it, the window's probably self-closed. But anyway, yeah. So yes, it's like in my head, it would be, I think, everything else set aside, the moment itself would be quite beautiful. It's very early in the morning. You're deep in this valley. The mist is still hanging in the trees, but it's not a cold mist because, like I said, you're in the Mediterranean, so it's just sort of warm. Everything smells like overgrown olive orchards and just a little mist on the water too as you just ever so slowly up this river, like sort of a Vietnam gunboat without all the inherent violence. But just
And
through that,
CCR.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, in the background, just of course. If the boy starts singing again, get your motor running. But never mind. That's where the three of you, for practical purposes, find yourselves heading slowly, ever so slowly up this river. It's so quiet. Just the occasional little poppily crackly of this. He essentially built a long torch, right? The full width of the boat. And then
Mhm.
all that you hear other than that is just the whole time, just bubbling away at the back of the boat.
Delilah's gonna go find Coas.
It's a big boat. Might miss him.
Go find me. I'm gonna go next to you.
He's around the corner, 2 steps away.
She misspoke. She meant to GoFundMe. He looks broke.
Oh, he looks after the mansion. He looks good.
You guys all look good, actually. Sad, but well dressed.
So we're at a
Delilah's
Cure
going
concert.
to go
Yeah.
over to Coas. What is Coas doing? Is he just like sitting?
Yeah, he's just kind of chilling with this. Maybe he's got like a hand in the water, just kind of
Oh yeah,
feeling it.
the little V's coming off his fingers.
She is going to sit down next to him and sort of quiet for a moment or two and then just say, "What you doing?"
Well, just waiting till we get upriver. Actually, I don't know where where are we supposed to stop? Till we reach Venice.
You guys have got a map now.
Yeah.
I didn't give you
So,
the fancy one yet. I'll get one.
Yeah.
I'll have to find it sometime in the next week when I remember.
maybe
But
Can we say that
Sure.
Delilah looked at the map while they were waiting for the
You-
the engine to be built?
I mean, yes, and you're going so slow now. You could certainly open it up and look again.
Yeah.
What you see is for about sort of 15, 20 miles, this deep valley continues on. So there's probably not much you can do. But after that, it flattens out into a plain, and there's actually a series of villages along it.
Mhm.
So it's just a matter of, I mean, you're doing sort of 3 miles an hour, so it's probably going to be a whole day before you get to the end of this valley. But all you really have to do is keep going and wait. And you'll be able to basically just drive up on the beach and drive away on an existing road system.
Yeah. So
So,
Delilah, yeah, it relays that, I guess.
Yeah.
so yeah, just I guess we're just waiting.
You ever get bored?
Is it right now?
Sure. Sorry,
Yeah, I'm.
I don't know if
Your
you've
line of
noticed, but I'm bad at talking to
yeah,
people.
your line of questioning here is a bit too vague.
A bit wiggly.
Yeah, it's a bit too off the beaten track.
um,
What do you want to ask?
is it? I mean, how are you doing? Are you are you okay? Are you? What's going on in Coastland?
I'm doing okay as I could be. Um, you know, Florence was still a big part of me, despite me losing the least out of all of us here from it. And recent recent events, recent revelations have kind of shook me.
I'll be right back. You guys go ahead.
Recent events kind of shook me for a bit, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm not too sure where I stand with Artie at the moment. We're in a tough spot.
I understand. I mean, you know, she loves you, right? I don't have to tell you that,
Yeah,
right?
no, I know that. Of course I do. It just
When was? I'm sorry. Can I ask you something else?
yeah.
And this might sound rude. When was the last time you hugged her?
Not not for a while. I'm not really. I don't really like hugs too much. Just I don't know. Never been my thing. It's not really how I show affection.
Okay. Is it how Artemis shows affection?
I, I see where you're getting at.
I'm not trying to like say you should hug, but maybe if what you're trying isn't working, try something different.
Yeah, different approaches. Yeah, you're right. I should
I mean, it
show.
won't be magic, but it's something.
Yeah. Uh, Another thing though is she she wants me to be. I feel like she wants me to be upset at her for her mistakes.
She absolutely does.
Yeah, and
And
I
yeah,
and this could and this stems from I guess it stems from personal issues here, but I just don't feel upset. And so yes, Robin, I know she did.
Getting told off by chat.
Just I don't know, it's if I don't feel that way, why should I be why should I be I guess the word is would be like faking it.
Because, well, you shouldn't. And what I don't think the fault lies with you, but it's not Artemis's fault either. It's nobody's fault. I shouldn't have used that word. But Artemis has a lot of shame, guilt.
Yeah.
And she thinks that because she hates herself, that everyone should hate her.
Yeah.
And she doesn't understand how you don't.
The phrasing she used was that was along the lines of me not showing emotion. But it's just because I'm not upset at her doesn't mean I don't have emotions to feel towards her.
Absolutely.
And
But
maybe
what
I should
if-
convey that differently. Maybe I don't convey it properly now. It's just
have you ever told her how you feel? Even if you don't show it, have you
Yeah.
said?
when we had the whole argument, I told her that I was like I was happy that she's here. I was happy that she's with us. And that's all I really needed. Her being here.
Keep saying it. Say it till she believes it.
Sid, Sid, give me a readiness play.
Ooh.
Okay. Secure.
Gonna bump into a rock and we're gonna crash it.
Clubs.
Nerves.
Can I just say one more thing?
Go for
Yes.
it.
As they're talking right before whatever the fuck Kevin's about to throw at us is,
One success.
Okay.
Delilah puts her hand in the water, kind of near Coas's, but not like so close that it's weird, but just to kind of like reflect the pensiveness, I guess.
You know, Delilah, for someone who doesn't know their family, you do a great job at being a family member. You're definitely, you got, you kind of feel like a Demacy.
Oh no.
I know that's a bit of a
Oh no.
insult. I know that might be a bit of an insult, but
Sid, there's a flaming bowling ball coming towards you at high speed through the air. Launched off one of the cliff tops above you.
Forest side or jerk side?
It's coming in from the starboard, so the right side, up high.
Jerk side. Okay.
Okay.
jerks. Why is it called
Well,
jerks?
is that
I want an
the
explanation. Jerks and gotcha. Yeah,
forest or
jerks were on
jerks?
that side, and the forest
Forest
people were on that
jerks.
side.
Oh, but they're
Yeah.
both jerks.
Yeah.
They're both jerks, but different kind of jerks.
Sid's still trying to
The
believe that the ones
assholes
are
or
nice.
merc assholes.
They weren't sociopaths.
You got one success. It's going to miss well to the rear.
Looks to Stefano and Verite. Can you get this thing go any faster? He starts looking up again.
And you see it hit the water behind you. I mean, this was like artillery, right? This is like a
Because
rock
of that.
from a trebuchet sort of thing. Oh, and they look at each other and both at the same time and say, "More butts!" And they start putting together more thing and trying to stack like a second layer and fit them sideways in between. Normally this would take hours, but these two are maniacs. So yeah, they're making more putts. This breaks the
butts.
concentration, I'm assuming, for Delilah and Coes as you see the
Yeah,
the
and
steaming ball.
stuff's
of-
happening,
it's
and so I'm gonna
Yeah.
grab my repeating crossbow,
yeah,
and I'm gonna aim towards where these balls are coming
they're
from.
way up on the top of these cliffs that you guys. Or
I
not cliffs,
think-
but the valley, right?
Shit.
Yeah.
I think as the splash happens, Delilah like shields Coas a little bit.
Yep. Okay. So.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, so he gets at the crossbow, sees that it's somewhere unreachable, and he's like, "Shit, I just want to shoot something."
Oh,
Sid, you see it first because you saw where the first one came from, but the other ones we don't have to make any more plays from here. But you see one more just like it heading, and it's also going to land behind you. And then another one that's different. It goes up real slow, big long arc, and then into like fireworks and starts to fall. It's
Ooh, a
still going to
cluster bomb.
fall behind you, but it's, yeah.
A
are
cluster
they giving
bomb.
us a send off?
No, I believe they're trying to kill us.
I think they're just missing. Yeah,
They're just really bad at it.
yeah.
Sorry for
Nope.
trying to be optimistic.
Yeah.
The cluster bombs are technically illegal.
Yeah, these aren't cluster bombs. These are fireworks. Strangely,
Oh,
almost exactly like the fireworks you saw last night when they used to chase the mercs away. And everything's happening behind you.
so
Wait a
they
minute.
are.
Quick military note. If they had set up and were attacking you, they would have ranged various spots on the river,
Mhm.
and they'd be exceptionally accurate. So the fact that
Yeah.
they're all
So
missing
this is-
behind you is intentional.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. So
Yeah, it's just the second you said the fireworks were somewhere, it's like, wait a minute.
Ah, god damn it! These pricks.
Is this-
they're
Was
Why
it all
don't
a
they-
bloody? Was it all
We
a bloody
told
show?
them we're leaving. We told them we're leaving.
And he's
I think
gonna call
They're
up to
either
them.
trying to
Yeah,
prove a point.
Cody's
or-
gonna like cup his hand and call out. We get it, guys. We're leaving.
strangely, it just keeps happening just as you go and you start to speed up because now it's because there's a whole bunch more of them. So you're going like walking speed and a half. But
It's
stuff is
brisk.
all still falling behind you. It happens it lasts for over an hour, and then finally you sort of come around this corner, yet another little wander, a meander in this river. And it just stops. It's been like they've been firing at you all the way along, and then it just stops as you float, apparently out of their area.
Jesus Christ.
My question is, where do they get all these fireworks from?
I honestly don't care. I'm just glad we're out of the bloody valley.
Meanwhile, Sid's thinking, were the mercenaries really mercenaries, or was it just all a big fucking show?
Sid, as you're thinking that purely for flavor, you look down and you see Verite and Stefano sitting on the deck of the boat, totally unfazed by all of this, and they're playing 5x5 tic-tac-toe. Think about that for a minute. That's an interesting game.
That's intense.
And you have to get 5. in
You have to
order
get
win.
5, yeah. So that
Oh,
way, and
man.
there's only one day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've been thinking about this
Sid-
for the 10 minutes since I thought of it.
Sid does not ask who's winning, but he watches Stefano's face to see who's winning.
it's like watching two engineers. It's just every time one of them, like the Veritas. I mean, he's hard to read, so I'll give you Stefano. Yeah, when it's Stefano's turn, he looks confident, like he's kind of nodding his head, like he's got a plan. You can see him multiple moves ahead. He makes his mark, and then Verite just not rocks back and forth, makes a mark, and Stefano goes fuck, and then sits there again, and makes a mark. He's like, yeah, and it's just that. Just constant back and forth. You can't really read Verite, but you get the feeling that
No.
they're doing this to each other.
They're
Like
going to
two
be
Yeah, it's
chess
five-dimensional
masters.
chess. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
The one with time travel.
yeah,
Yeah, that exists.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
on Steam.
yeah.
Ridiculous. I actually did not know that.
I've played 3D chess on an actual Star Trek 3D chessboard. That's not anywhere near as difficult as playing 3D chess on 8 chessboards stacked. That's much more difficult.
True 3D chess.
3D chess
Cubic
is
3D
just
chess. It's nuts.
regular chess.
Split into
It's
4 pieces.
three-dimensional.
And that makes sense. I mean, that makes
That
it
was
harder.
a geometry joke.
It is also how it played in Star Trek. All it was the board cut into 4 pieces, and then put at various heights, and it would make it more challenging because you're not looking at a single flat surface. But anyway,
The joke was that the pieces are three-dimensional, but okay.
yes, I got that too.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Sorry.
Let's go back to the game. So, as you said, the valley sort of ends here. The hills start to drop, and you're getting close to that little village, the first of those villages. And just as somebody says, where did they get those fireworks? Ahead of you, down by the village, you can just sort of see where it's gonna be. You can see smoke rising from the houses and whatnot. Right over there, you see. A couple minutes later, just a firework
found
goes
the
off about every
supplier.
5 or 10 minutes.
I think we found their supplier.
Would we even be surprised that every little village we come to is going to have people in it?
Well, I thought you were going to say every little village we come to is going to have a maniac in it.
I thought you were gonna say every little village we come to has fireworks in it.
Fireworks, maniac.
All of those sentences are
potato,
technically
potato.
possibly
The
true.
answer is yes.
Yes.
Yes to all of them.
Yes to the dress.
No, I said no to the dress. It's impractical. Elizabeth had a lot of them. Her shoes, though, were fabulous.
So as we float down the river,
Yep, as you get closer and closer up the river, actually butter up the river.
the river, yes.
Get it
And
right,
you,
oh my
you
god.
do come around the corner at the end, and there is a village. It looks like it has 10 or 15 houses in it. There's only smoke coming out of 2, right down by the water. And there's a small dock. You can see the big dock that used to be there has all been torn apart by floods and whatnot over the years, 30 years since stuff happened. But there's a small sort of scrap wood dock built out onto it. And beyond the end of that, there's just a ring walk on piles. And sitting way out on the end of that, there's a little kid. He's got a wooden box beside him, and he's got a torch stuck in between 2 of the pieces of wood that the walkway is made out of. And he just reaches into the box every once in a while and reaches in for another one and finds the one he likes and bang, it goes up in his hand, like and off it goes, and he sticks his hand in the water and starts digging.
How
for
high can
another
he count?
one. As you get closer, he has all his fingers. There's
Sid
like a
waves like,
blackened glove built. It's not a glove, but it's his finger, it's his skin. But it's
Ugh.
just like one big, massive sort of.
Why do you think there's only
Callous.
two of them left in the village?
yeah, right?
Accidents.
Sid waves. He's like, permission to land, young sir.
Ah! And he runs down the dock.
Take that as a solid maybe.
The torch is still there. The box of fireworks is still there. he runs into the one of the two houses in the village that's actually got smoke coming out of it. And a couple of seconds later, the door opens and an adult, like a face at adult height, looks out.
Sid
Then
waves.
closes for a second, and then opens again, and a couple walk out, and not let's say middle aged, a little bit older than you guys, sort of 50s, and you can see in the window behind
That's
them.
way older than us.
Well, I was gonna say I changed it kind of because you can see in the window behind them. There's a woman that looks like it might be their daughter, sort of 30ish, and then the kid that you saw is about 10.
Okay.
So it looks like 3 generations live in this house. And the grandfather is kind of looking at you as he comes down. He's, I understand you spoke to the boy.
Just wondering if we could make a stop. That's all, sir.
Oh, of course. He said somebody yelled, run to land at him.
Permission to... I was asking if I could use your dock.
Oh, absolutely. He doesn't hear very well.
I can imagine. I said, well, the benefit of having a big bushy mustache is when you laugh at a joke and they're
Yeah.
far enough away they can't see it.
Yes. It just sort of...
Exactly.
So... And he looks back up the river behind you. He says, they didn't kill you then? Sorry, stupid
They'd rather
question.
we
You're...
fuck. Yeah, it's just. I think they preferred when we left their lawn.
Yeah, they're yeah, they're like that. Yeah, come on in. Haven't got much, but you're welcome to. How the hell does that thing work? And he's looking at the boat now, because as you're pulling up, but this is the problem is getting this thing to stop, is because it's got all these extra putts on it now, right? And as they're putting out parts of the fire, try to slow it down, and then they slow it down too much, and the river starts to push them back, so they have to kind of light a couple of fires again as they're trying to dock this thing.
Get it into like equilibrium.
Yep, absolutely.
With the current.
And then just slide over and then bump up against the thing, and the guy grabs a rope. You really should have some. Where are we going to tie this? And he hands you a rope. You can see his hands are both all covered in that same sort of burn tissue.
Sid pauses, like internally, is like, "That's the one thing you didn't think of, jackass." He sort of looks and kind of like ties it to one of the logs that makes up the raft.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Kind of sort of loops it around and cinches it tight.
That all works. So yeah, then they shut down the rest of the motors. But. That's the last one. And you see the kid peeking out the door again, and this time it's the grandmother that says, did they attack you at all?
I think they were busy with the lot across the river. They were more concerned with us leaving than staying.
No direct attack.
We've had some concerns. You say direct attack. We have a very strict rule. No violence with our products. We understand their innate explosivity. We understand that some people like to take advantage of that, but we're not having it.
Well,
So
you may have a talk with your clients then.
Yeah, they.
Oh, we don't
They
talk
used
with
it.
our clients. And she just turns around and like boom, 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 to the other house that's got the smoke coming out. And as they throw the door open and step in, you can smell like sulfur, and that's the fireworks plant.
Hopefully on opposite ends of the village.
Well, you know, it's the distance is measurable in steps. You know, there's yeah. If it goes boom,
Danger close, got it.
yeah, danger close, yeah.
Well,
No
any
need to roll hit
distance-
points close. Yeah.
Any distance is measurable in steps, technically.
Yeah. Well,
so.
technically yes, but practically, given measured in steps and ending with a reasonable number under 100. So, but yeah, you see, she heads in there, and grandfather turns to back to you and says, "Oh, it's been a long time since somebody was this stupid." He kind of looks up. You got a couple hours before dark? I don't want to sound creepy or shit, but you might want to get that thing going again. When Mother gets wound up, people get blown up. It's kind of her rule, and her mother's rule before her.
Oh. We shan't be taking much more of your time
Shit.
then.
Oh, you
Sorry, what
say
was that, Phyllis?
Shit.
Shan't? Yeah, just, yeah.
Man. Shit.
And with that, the old man just looks at you and says, "Yeah, been nice knowing you." And he turns and heads back, and you hear him say, "Edith, Edith, we need to talk about this, Edith. You know what happened last time? You went off all half-cocked, burned down the forest, Edith."
How soon we get that thing going?
All right, down the river we go. Up the river. Nah, I'm not good with my directions, guys.
And through the woods to grandmother's house.
And to grandmother's house. This was grandmother's house, and grandma's psycho too.
Oh my God.
Turns out we landed on Pandora and we're the only sane people here.
Well, think about. I mean, you're finding little tiny enclaves of survivors, right? That half of them are like cults, like you said last week, and the other half are just nuts. There was a
Makes
book,
sense.
a book I read years ago that scared the hell out of me, but it said in a state of modern warfare, the only people that are going to do well are the people that were crazy before it started.
Yeah.
Because they're
That
through the
doesn't
process.
surprise me.
Like they're done. They're ready.
They're on the
they're at
other
functional
side.
light already. So
Yeah.
yeah, so far these little groups, these isolated little groups, are for the most part not the healthy. And as you pull away into the gathering gloom, you see behind you grandmother coming out with crate after crate after crate. These don't look like fireworks. They're not like long tubes with sparkles and
Oh
shit
my
on them on
God.
sticks. These are explosives. These are like claymores, and you can hear him in the distance as you're driving. Like, where do you keep hiding this shit? You know this is why we have the rule: no violence, Edith. No, back, Edith, 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 Edith. And that's the last thing you hear is him trying.
Edith, put the tow missile down.
Yeah. As
It's
you-
like that scene from Buffy where is it, I can't remember if it's Buffy trying to stop Spike or Spike trying to stop Buffy. One of them has a rocket launcher and is trying to kill one of the principals. And he just like tackles the other one.
It's Buffy because it's after the episode where she uses it on the invincible demon. Because there was the demon that couldn't be killed, and she used a freaking rocket launcher on it.
Oh no, this is a different season. But anyway, anyway.
Okay, anyway. Artemis, I like her. I like the kind of your Jim kid. Yeah. Artemis is sitting there in the back seat with their headache pounding away, going, just yeah, kill them all. I didn't sleep last night. Fireworks? Are you fucking kidding me? So yeah.
Was that like a javelin missile?
And as you pull away again, darkness starts to descend. It's a little different tonight though, because you're out on this plain, this big flat area now. You can see for miles in every direction. There's no lights. There's no campfires. There's nothing. It's not dark enough yet to see the sky. You can just see the moon starting to come up on the horizon. And in the distance behind you, you hear thump, and there's kind of a shock wave passes through the river. And that, I know it's a little early, but it's still 36 degrees in here, and I asked a whole bunch of people here to not to turn off the fans for the length of time that we were streaming. So I am going to take the extra 15 minutes and call it early so I can go and thank them for that, because it was fucking brutal. So that's where we're going to drop the curtain on you guys tonight, is heading upriver past the crazy fireworks people. So
I found it. It's sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's season 7, and Spike is trying to keep Buffy from rocket launchering the principal.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. I'm glad we figured that out before we left. But with that, I am going to do the goodbyes now and get us out of here for this evening. Oh, thank you so much to Phil. The dream sequence was completely, I had no idea it was coming. I saw you sitting there bored and I thought I got to do something. So I hope that was fun. Thank you for that. I enjoyed that a lot. Bison, Sid is the most broken dad I've ever met. He's trying to do all the things, but like he's trying to walk on broken legs, right? So we are going to give you guys, this was just step 1. This is we're rebuilding for you guys now. You may not know it yet, but you have hit bottom and bounced. And Wayward, oh, thank you so much. I know how long it is to wait a whole week to play this game. I know it's tough, and I see you in chat all the time. It's like, is it time yet? So thank you.
I'm so deprived.
But no, that scene tonight at the start of tonight, that was pure acting. We saw a lot of real acting tonight from all 3 of you. It was amazing, and it couldn't have been a better night for chat because we had somebody in here that had never been in before, and we blew their minds. So thank you all for that. Thank you, chat, for tuning in and checking us out. This game gets deep and dark, and we don't do a whole lot of sort of dice rolling card playing, but it's I love it every single time, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Embrace the drama.
Embrace the drama. So thank you to chat. Thank you to the YouTube people. There's a lot of you. A lot of you. So thank you all for watching that. Please hit that like button. Throw in a chat in the comments. It really helps the algorithm. And hit that notification button too, because we pop these up roughly once a week, but you know, scheduling permitting, sometimes we don't get them up. So pop that in there. Which brings us to the important bit. I don't care how hot it is when we film this. I don't care how cold it is when you watch this. I don't care what the weather's doing to you, wherever you are in space and time. Please, if you have the spoons, please be nice to each other. Good night.